Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins!
Good afternoon, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome back to the Formula X1X Championship 2022. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease, defects, and tech for the future, including mechanical hearts and transplants. It's a very close-to-home charity, so we support it all we can. And you can too. Just tap in bhf.org.uk on your web browser, and please help in any way you can. In round 2, and we're in the USA, and the roller coaster they call Laguna Seca. Deep in the hills of California, its signature turn, the downhill plunging corkscrew, is one of the most challenging chicanes in the world, and is often used as the test track for the tear-off underpass system. It quickly enables the engineers to find where the limit is so they can perfect the software. The track is 2.2 miles in length, with the longest straight of just under a third of a mile and a total of 11 corners. In round 1, we witnessed a stunning performance from Rico Mortis, taking the first win of the season at Interlagos, and a fantastic second place from Carlos Punterino, with Brian Messiah on the podium with, as he put it, an unexpected third. The driver of the race, however, was Damon Punterino, who after an off-track excursion in lap 1, fought his way through the field to finish with a very well-deserved 4th place. I'll hand you over now to our ex-race driver and technical guru, Dave Unshaw. He's been out in his car this morning doing our lap focus, and the technicians have already found 2 bugs in Dave's tear-off underpants that haven't been scientifically identified as of yet. How's it going, Dave?
Many thanks, Robin. I'm hammering down the straight at 167 mile an hour, 6th gear, over the top of the hill, and down towards the Andretti hairpin, down into second, 64 mile an hour around this left-hander, and up towards turn 3, nearly 90 mile an hour through here, 3rd gear, and then down towards turn 4, 135 5th gear, minding those sausages, they really will chuck you off the track. Down towards turn 5, 162, and then down into 3rd gear, 101 mile an hour into the left-hander, and up towards what I call the Widowmaker, turn 6, 150 mile an hour through here, really scary stuff. Hammering up the roll hole straight towards a corkscrew, on the brakes and down into 2nd gear. Through this blind corkscrew, it really is a challenge and a half, and then into the left-handers they call the rainy curves. Down through here, 110 mile an hour 4th gear, and then down towards turn 11, banging down into 1st gear, and then hugging that curve really tight and getting a good exit down through here is absolutely top of the list. It's a fantastic little track, Robin. The track's very hot as well. I think the guys are going to love this, so long as they don't take too much sausage. Have a good one.
Many thanks, Dave. And yes, it is very hot here today, folks. So let's go down to the track and take a look at our lineup for today. On pole position, and no surprise, is Carlos Punterino. In 2nd place, Alex Anders, and in 3rd, Damon Punterino. 4th on the grid for Rico Mortis, and 5th for Artie Fedati. 6th for Halen Vanetti, and 7th for Brian Messiah, with Archie Angelo in 8th, Simon Bouquet in 9th, and Greg Rocket rounding out the grid in 10th. Our weather check says it's 29 degrees Celsius and the track is 38 degrees centigrade. Very, very hot indeed. So we enter the 2nd round of the British Heart Foundation Formula X1X Championship from Laguna Seca. Engines are a-revving. On board with Greg Rocket on our new bonnet cam. And off we go. Everybody gets a good start apart from Simon Bouquet, by the look of it, seemed to spin up a little bit. David Punterino hammering down towards the Andretti hairpin, getting swallowed up with Brian Messiah, Halen Vanetti and Archie Angelo. Look like they're holding hands around the Andretti hairpin. Halen Vanetti losing a little bit of grip on exit there. Into that right-hander, watching that sausage. Their eyes are glued to that thing. Rico Mortis gets in 3rd place. Artie Fedati gets in 4th. That's a brilliant start for Artie Fedati, hanging on to the back of Rico Mortis. David Punterino also holding on to this group with Brian Messiah and Archie Angelo. Greg Rocket and Simon Bouquet are somewhere at the back there. Artie Fedati giving Rico what he likes to call a little love tap, but almost cost himself there. David Punterino goes up the inside of Artie Fedati, down through the rainy curves. Brian Messiah and Archie Angelo all over the road. Into that right-hander and down towards the last turn onto the main straight. Alex Anders is away with this, and Carlos Punterino also creating one hell of a gap on the pack already. David Punterino is not letting Rico Mortis out of his sights. Archie Angelo trying to go up the inside of Artie Fedati into the Andretti hairpin. Can he get it done? It's a very quick lap here, folks. 1 minute 6 for some of the fastest laps around. Unbelievable pace. Into turn 4, Archie Angelo and Artie Fedati side by side. Down towards turn 5 and up the hill towards the Rahal straight. Archie Angelo looking for a way past. Can he find one? Can he make one? Who knows? Up they go to that horrible bomb hole. David Punterino hammering up towards a corkscrew. Right on the back of Rico Mortis. Looks like Brian Messiah is also on the back of David Punterino. All the while, Alex Anders and Carlos Punterino are pulling away. Alex goes a little bit wide there onto the dirt. You don't want to do that too many times. That could be catastrophic, Alex. Keep it real. Losing a bit of grip on exit onto the main straight. There's a replay. What happened? Brian Messiah goes off track. He'll be kicking himself for that. My word. And spinning again. That's put him right to the back of the field. That's an awful start for Brian Messiah. He'll get going though. I bet you any money on it. Carlos Punterino chasing Alex Anders in first place. Brilliant to see Alex in first. This is fantastic stuff for the British racing team. Rico is hanging onto the back too, but he's a little way back. Archie Angelo giving it all he's got, trying to get up to the back of David Punterino. Archie in 5th place as well, doing a fantastic job. Into turn 5, up the hill towards turn 6 and onto the Rahal straight. On board with Artie Fedati. That looked like Archie Angelo got off track. We get a replay. Let's take a look. Here we go. Up the hill into that awful turn 6. Drops away from you and there's a sausage there. Clip that and this is exactly what happens, folks. That's awful stuff for Archie Angelo. Greg Rocket and Simon Bouquet having a bit of a kerfuffle by the look of it. Greg down into the corkscrew. Simon's all over the back of him. That looks like Aylan Van Eddy at the back there too. Out of the rainy curves and down towards turn 11. Into the final turn onto the main straight. This is almost a bus stop here, folks. It really does. It really is a slow corner indeed. And very difficult to get a good exit out of here. There's quite a high curve on the left-hand side too. Over the hill and down towards the Andretti hairpin. Simon Bouquet looking for a way past, but Greg Rocket's late on the brakes. Fantastic into Andretti. Goes a little bit wide, coming out. Can Simon get him on the next right-hander, turn 3? All the while, Aylan Van Eddy's lurking in the background for someone to make a mistake. Alexander's doing a phenomenal job here, really pulling a gap on Carlos Punterino. In fact, it looks like Carlos is making up ground here. Simon Bouquet and Greg Rocket. Where's Greg Rocket? Greg's disappeared as that bomb hole caught him out too. Absolutely awful stuff. Here we go. Oh, that's exactly what happens, folks. So fast into there, you just got to get an inch off line, and that's exactly what happens. Aylan Van Eddy in 7th place, making up some ground now after those 2 accidents. All the while they're helping Aylan. Brian Messiah running in 10th. He'll be absolutely furious. I know he will. Don't very often see Brian at the back of the pack, unless of course he's won the championship. Down the hill towards the Andretti hairpin. On board with Rico Mortis, chasing Carlos Punterino and Alex Anders. It's a turn 5. That left-hander, very quick indeed, and up the hill. Hello, Dave. Dave Unshaw's just joined me in the commentary booth. What do you reckon to this race so far then, Dave? I'll tell you what, this is going to be one hell of a clinch fest, I know that, because I've been round here doing the lap focus and it is frightening stuff, especially down through that corkscrew. It is, you just got to, make a mistake like the other 2 guys have, and that's exactly what happens. You can see why they test the tear-off underpads here, Dave, can't you? Yeah, hats off, and his team's got that laboratory just up the road from here. They regularly send people out to test the limits and, make sure everything working well for the championships coming up. By the way, hello folks, it's good to be back. It's been a fortnight since Interlagos, and I am really, really revved up for this. This is fantastic stuff, this championship, brilliant. Interlagos was a great start, Dave. That was absolutely fantastic stuff. I tell you what as well, Dave, I think Rico's on fire here. I'll tell you, it's great to see that, because I feel that Rico lost a bit of form here and there. I know he's had the odd win, but he seems to gel with his car really well. I mean, look at him now. He's right on the back of Carlos Punterino. I know Damon Punterino's lurking in the background. He always will. Damon's always on the back of Rico somewhere. It's very odd, Dave, because Damon Punterino seems to love the number 4th place. I don't know what it is. Alex Anders has crashed. Oh, no. That's such a shame, Dave. I can't believe it. I had some money on Alex. I thought he was going to win this. That's where it started. He caught the brown stuff there, and that ruined his braking into that turn, that right-hand turn, and it just spiraled from there. What a shame. Oh, he nearly caught Damon Punterino then. I tell you what, that was close there. Good job Damon was, had his eyes open. On the back of Rico now. What's going to happen here then, Dave? Carlos Punterino's been caught by Rico Mortis. Can Rico find a way around Carlos Punterino? David Punterino, on the other hand, is off on safari by the look of it. That's cost him a little bit of time. He'll soon make it up, though. David is very, very quick. We all know that. Up the hill they go towards the Rahal Straight and into that what we like to call the Widowmaker. Well, what Dave calls the Widowmaker, I call it the Bob Hole. Some of them call it the birth control corner. Really? Why would they call it that then, Dave? Well, when you go over there, it drops away and then there's a sausage on the left-hand side. And basically, your front of your car dips, then it bangs into that sausage and almost smacks the centre console through your gonads. And that's why they call it the birth control corner. And do you know that a racing driver who's had a similar accident to what I just mentioned has never conceived a child on the day they left the racetrack? How the hell do you know that, Dave? Let's just say I have my sources. As Simon Bouquet having an underpant tear-off moment, overshot that. Oh, Simon, what a shame. He had quite good pace. He has. He's not been doing too bad round here, Dave. He's been quite good form, to be honest. Rico Mortis is on the back of Carlos Punterino still. I think he may well be trying to wear Carlos down, Dave. Or Carlos has took a little bit of a wiggle there. He must have caught the brown stuff and spun out a little bit. There's a lot of sand on this track, folks, and if you bring some of it on the track with you, that really upsets the car. Let's put Rico into first place. Is he going to do what he did at Interlagos and clear off now? I tell you what though, Dave, you may think that would happen, but round here you've got to keep your wits about you. It looks to me like it's so easy to make a mistake and, game over. Talk of the devil, looks like Archie Angelo's gone off track again. He don't like this corner, I'll tell you that. Here he goes, watch the replay. Oh, went in there way too hot, but it also looked like his right-hand side caught the gravel he went over the curb basically and lost the brakes. That was it, you can't stop on that. I feel sorry for Archie, he's having a bit of a torrid time to be fair, and he is blisteringly fast. If he could just pull it together, Dave. Got a lot of respect for Archie Angelo, he's got some real fire in his belly, I'll tell you that. He is a quick lad. And like you say, Robin, he just needs to string it all together. Do you think maybe he's pushing a little bit too hard? It could well be that. Yeah, it could well be that. It's easy done when you're in a race situation. I know, when I was in a Reliance, the tension we used to get from that on the, you sat there on a starting grid, all revving up, engines giving it the beans, and next minute you dump the clutch and end up pulling a wheelie. I'll tell you, it was unreal. pulling wheelies in reliance. You must be off your rocker as Artie Fernati goes up the inside and Damon Puntorino into third place. But Damon's having none of it into the turn 11. Side by side, they go down the main straight. Who can make it over the line first? Artie Fernati is really on fire here today, Dave. I think you're right. You know, you said it into Lagos that Artie will find form and, hopefully get himself set up right and, be back fighting again. And he looks like he's doing just that here. I'll tell you, he won't hang about for long. He is very quick indeed when he gets going. And a very good, clean driver too, obviously apart from the odd love tap. So, where's Fabio Detrelli then, Dave? Oh, never mind Fabio, I'll talk about him in a minute, but I'll tell you who I was gutted for was Lydia Champagne. She's just got back from illness, came here, got everything set up, was good in practice, and then had a technical and couldn't join the race. I felt so sorry for Lydia, I'll tell you, that was cruel. I did see she was absolutely furious with her mechanics. I know one of them got a whack on the bottom with her whip. She likes to keep the wall in check. So anyway, Dave, Fabio's still not here. What's happening with Fabio? Fabio is still, in a dispute over pay. He dug his heels in and they've offered him £5.50 now. But he wanted £6 and he said to me, I ain't budging. If they want me to race, it's £6 or nothing. I'll tell you what, I don't know what the hell he'd want with all that kind of money. What would you spend that extra 50 pence on, Dave? Well, I happen to know that Fabio likes, he likes the tables a bit, and also he likes, Simon Bouquet's having another underpant clinch fest. Poor old Simon, he's having a bad time, he is, today. Come on, Simon, pull yourself together. Anyway, as I was saying, Fabio likes Haribo, so I'm guessing he will get some of that. Oh, what? Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware of the new fencing system that has been installed for your safety. Please abide by the safety signs. Bodily fluids have a very high conductivity rating. You have been warned. I tell you, Dave, I stood by that fence the other day talking to Emma Royd, and I tell you what, I could hear that fence crackling. Kindly donated by the local business Quick Fry Fencing Systems. They do a lot of crowd control and stuff like that, trying to make people safe. I know one of the spectators stuck his tongue through the fence when I walked past, and I tell you what, Dave, I never seen, he must have flown 10 feet backwards, I should think. Oh yeah, it's they crank that thing up a bit. I'll tell you, it keeps them safe, doesn't it? Yes, Halen Van Eddy in 6th place. Brilliant to see. Come on, Halen, you can get a good result out of this. We're always shouting for you. He's got wide. Hit that bob hole or the birth control corner, as Dave calls it. That'll be none for Halen tonight, that's for sure. He will be nursing a very bruised pair. And who's this? Brian Messiah again. These pair don't half like going on safari round here. Yes, but at least Brian will be able to have some tonight, Dave. Wait a minute, he ain't finished the race yet. Brian's up into 5th place. I knew he'd work his way back through the field, although I fear some people have gone in the pits. That may have helped. Lap 13, well, that would make it... I would imagine some of the cars will go in this lap. I know they try and even up the stops a little bit, so that's probably what's going to happen. Yes, they do seem to do that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Rico's gone in. You're right, Dave. Carlos is going in. Artie Fernati's gone in. Yeah, a lot of them have gone in. Damon Puntorino surely to go in as well. Where is Damon Puntorino? Oh, he's not on the board. He must have gone in. Greg Rocket hammering over the hill and down towards the Andretti hairpin in that beautiful red and yellow Formula X1X car. Come on, Greg, he's gone wide. Kicking up the dust and taking names. I think you mean kicking arse and taking names, Robin. No, dust will do on here, Dave. It's a family show. Greg really happy to be racing on his home turf. Great to see. Brian Messiah's in second place. Rico's just come out of the pits in front of him. So's Carlos Punterino and Artie Fenati as well. They're like a three-car freight train at the minute. Lap 14. Who set the fastest lap of the race? Can't quite tell at this stage. Must be either Carlos or David Punterino, I would think, Dave. I know Rico don't really worry about that too much. He just works on race pace, and you know, if he can get a good result, that's where he goes. That's what he does. Very important, Dave. You know, race pace. It's all very well and good being the fastest guy in the cemetery, but you need to be able to get there first. As Brian Messiah is all over the back of Artie Fenati for third place. Artie Fenati bouncing off those sausages. He does take quite a lot of sausage, does Artie Fenati, I've heard. You know, he seems to bang them something rotten. Yes, Brian Messiah goes around the outside, down towards the Andretti hairpin. Can Artie still get him on the brakes? Blocks his exit. Great move by Artie Fenati, almost by Brian Messiah, kicking up more dust. There's a hell of a lot of sand on this track, Dave. It must be really slippery going around here. It is. You can spin up really easy, and if you get that on your wheels by going out wide, when you come back on this track, my word, man, it's like being on ice. Brian Messiah doing all he can to stick with Artie Fenati. Into the birth control corner, going wide. He lost it there, Dave. That was some scary stuff. If I remember rightly, you're in that corner at over 100 odd mile an hour, and I'll tell you that is frightening stuff when you go over there. Looks like somebody else has done the same thing, Alex Anders. Oh, that would have hurt, that. He would have banged his nose on that bar in the middle, I tell you. Ooh. He may get the job helping Santa at Christmas now, I've heard by the look of it. I'll tell you what, if Alex did get the job with Santa pulling that sleigh, it would be going pretty quick, I'll tell you that. Santa would be screaming for slow down, and I know if I know Alex, he'd be shouting, "Squeam if you want to go faster." Do you realise we are 16 laps in already? Rico Mortis is in first place, Carlos Punterino in second, and Artie Fenati in third. You don't see Rico in first place very often, Dave. Well, we did a fortnight ago, but yeah, no, you're right. He not always in first place. He might have got a penalty there, I don't know. No, you haven't. Did a nice clean move into there. I noticed that when Rico dives into this corkscrew, all his wheels are on the ground. But I've noticed that a lot of the other drivers, when they hit it, their front wheels are off the ground. It's like they're pulling a wheelie into it. I do think Rico takes that a little bit slower than everybody else, though, Dave. He knows that one mistake on that corkscrew, and that's game over. Yeah, you're probably right. He probably has been a little bit careful. That's fair enough. I will say no more. Carlos Punterino, on the other hand, he dives into the corkscrew like it's a bottle of champagne, I tell you. He is hammering after Rico now. I think he's catching him, Dave. They have pitted and they're on fairly good tyres. Rico still holding that steady pace. Carlos giving it some serious welly. Will he have some tonight? Yes, he will. That was a very good entry into that corner, Dave. That's how it should be done. You know, like they say, you know, when you're having some, fast in, slow out. You know. Or was it the other way round? I can't remember now. Well, usually fast out if you hear, like, the husband coming up the stairs. Do you know, I had a friend who, he used to be, well, would you believe it, of all things, a milkman. But he used to regularly visit one of the ladies on his round, and he used to go up the drain pipe into the house. In this day and age, he still goes up the drain pipe because he's very, what do you call it? What's the word, Dave? I think the word you're looking for is nostalgic. Yeah, that's the one. He's very nostalgic. I'll tell you what, though. You know how old he is? Go on in. How old is he? My friend, who will not be named, is 85. 85, and he's still going up drain pipes? He is still. I'll tell you what, Dave, he comes down. Well, a couple of times he's come down them a hell of a lot faster than he's gone up, and he's ended up in A&E. Yeah, it's always better to go feet first instead of head first, that's for sure. Carlos Punterino is right on the back of Rico Mortis now. Could this be curtains for Rico Mortis? Carlos will not let this one go. You had your win, that's it, says Carlos. This is my turn now, Rico. Into the Andretti hairpin. Rico gets a good exit, pulls a little bit of a gap. Can he wear Carlos's tyres down and start pulling away? Who knows? Carlos Punterino set the fastest lap of the race so far with a 106.2. That's almost the same as his qualifying time, except I think he was a 106.0, Dave, is that right? Carlos banged in a 106.0, yeah, that's correct. A very fast leap, that is. Hello. Greg Rocket's gone off track again. That's a look, the corkscrew by the look of it. You don't want to stop there. If anyone's coming. Oh, that was close. That was very, very close indeed. That could have been awful. If they'd have pulled that wheelie over the corkscrew, Dave, they would have landed on top of Greg Rocket. Greg would have been flattened there. He would have done with a pair of them banging on the top of him like that. Carlos Punterino is not letting Rico get away. Absolutely, well, great pace Rico's got, Dave. He really is, hanging on to this thing. He hasn't. I don't think he's even had a penalty as yet. But that's 20 laps down. No, you're dead right there. Rico has not got one penalty yet, and he hasn't been off track yet. And I know that could be commentator's curse. So I am sorry in advance, Rico. So the halfway point in the race, folks. So let's go down to pit lane where our ex-alcoholic and Saturday night party animal is talking to our special guest. How's it going, Paddy?
Many thanks, Robin. I'm down here in pit lane talking to Head of Safety Plus, a part of Race Direction, to find out how we keep our spectators safe from the action and, of course, our drivers safe from the spectators. Hello, murder 'em all. Nice to meet you.
Hey man, don't go getting my name wrong. I'm gonna kick your ass. God bless America.
So as I was saying, firstly, how do you go about keeping the spectators safe during the race?
Have you been drinking, man?
I may have had a sip just to keep me focused.
I thought I could smell it on you. But in answer to your question, the main thing we've done is install high-voltage safety fences around the track. Some of these were in fact donated by the local electronics company, Quick Fry Fences. That should stop those suckers sticking their peckers through the fence. They only do it to break the driver's concentration.
Oh, but Jesus, that sounds like that could be painful.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't go putting your ass against it.
So what other measures have you made?
We've also been able to secure a new medical unit in case of any injuries sustained during the event. That was donated by our neighbor, LaFalle Abattoirs. We will eventually get around to cleaning that shit up, but they said we could use it for the race weekend. Hopefully the smell of rotten flesh and blood won't put people off.
Remind me not to have an accident, won't you? Sounds like they've got everything covered, Robin. Back to you.
Many thanks, Paddy. Thank you very much for that good interview. I tell you what, Dave, Paddy is getting quite good at this, don't you think? He is, but I'll tell you what, he ought to, lay off the old, moonshine a bit, I think. Well, yeah, I suppose, but don't forget it was actually Saturday night last night, Dave, so he's bound to be a bit rough around the edges. Somebody's off track there. That looked like Archie Angelo. Can't be sure. I might get a replay. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, here we go. Archie just caught the sand and span out. Simple as that. He's having a really, really hard time, Robin, I'll tell you. Of all the tracks that we're going to in this championship, though, this has got to be one of the hardest, I would think, Dave. I would say that, yeah, you may be right, because, there really is no mercy on these corners, these sausages. You hit them, they're about 4 inches high, and you hit them, it just chucks you straight off the track. And I would say the other one that's going to be a bit of a, that's Alexander's letting Artie Fanati through, abiding by the blue flag rules. Well done, Alex. As I was saying, the other one I think that could be really hard, and it always is, especially in these cars, is going to be Brands Hatch. That's going to be one hell of a fast lap round there, Dave, in these things. I know they used to race these cars there years ago, but that was a long time ago before all the health and safety came in. Yeah, but it's like a revival for Brands Hatch. I love this. The British will be there, well, because we're in Britain, obviously, and, they love chucking stuff. I hope they've got the safety fences up for that one, because they're mental. Hello, Brian Messiah off track again. He's also having a bad time. I would be surprised if Brian doesn't pick the car up and throw it at the pit crew when he gets in, Dave. I have seen a few of our drivers, who haven't done well coming in a right strop. You don't want to be anywhere near it, I tell you, when they come in like that. I know that, who was it? I think it was, hang on, let me just get this right. I think it was, if I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure it was Simon Bouquet. He come back after, don't ask me what track it was, but I heard it. He came in the pits and into the garage that fast, he didn't even slow down, right? And the pit crew was stood there, they were like Skittles, right? And he hit the back wall and airbag went off, underpants went off. It was literally like bonfire night in there, and there was like, people lying on the floor, bloody tools everywhere, oil, snot, shit, tears, it was absolutely, it was just a frenzy. Do you know what it was that upset him, Dave? Was it, maybe the car wasn't performing well, maybe, maybe he was, he didn't get much sleep that night. Any ideas? Well, I heard that he burst his hot water bottle, and he was in a right strop after that. He just, it was his favourite one and all, and he just, I don't know, that really wound him up. How were the pit crew, Dave? Did they, come out of that all right? Were anybody seriously hurt? It sounds terrible. The only one that really got hurt was the T-boy. He was bringing in the tray of tea as Simon flew past, and as the underpants flew out the back, that clobbered him in the nose, and they had to take him to hospital to get the nozzle of the teapot out of his nose. That sounds really painful, Dave. Was it a hot cup of tea, or, what type of tea was it? Well, I did ask, and all they said was that nobody knows. You're winding me up, you Dave Unshaw, I tell you, he's a wind-up merchant. Well, most of it was true. Carlos Punterino and Artie Fernati in hot pursuit. Rico Mortis dives into the corkscrew. Got a little bit of gap on these pair. So, fortnight time, Dave. We're in Catalonia, back in Spain. You looking forward to that? I really like Catalonia, and I like Spain too. It's a very nice country. Been there a lot of times. It's, a great track. Obviously it's a Formula 1 track too. Well, some of these tracks we're doing, some of them used to be Formula 1 tracks, and some of them still are. But yeah, it's going to be very fast indeed, because there's one hell of a long straight on that one, Robin. We've got to be touching 200 mile an hour on Catalonia, Dave, surely. These cars will, will they do that? I think they will. We get the gearing right and, get the engine management right. I reckon some of these guys could touch 200 mile an hour down there, especially with a boost on. I've heard a lot of them talk about this boost thing, Dave, but how does it work? Well, it only works for a limited time, but that fin on the back of the car, that spoiler, basically, when you push the button, it flattens out and then it reduces drag. So it gives you that extra bit of, speed where you're not being pushed down by the wind. How long does that, how long do they, use it for, Dave? Well, you do have a limited time. So on a race like this, if you've used it all in the first few laps, well, that's, you ain't got nothing for the end of the race. But I know a lot of people will probably save most of that for the last few laps of the race. And it really does give you, you know, as they say, a boost. Brian Messiah dropping into the corkscrew. Looks like most of them have pitted again on lap 26, Dave. I think you were right. They did a 13-13, and obviously another 13 laps to go. I thought they would. You know, it makes sense to try and split it up evenly. You know, if you can make your tyres last for that, you know, to get 3 stints out of it or whatever it is you want to do, you know, it makes sense to try and, you know, prolong them a little bit longer if you can. Some people struggle, other people can do it fairly easily. That's the one thing you can say about Rico, Dave. He's very, very good on tyres. Well, like Rico says to me, you know, he's not as fast as some of the other drivers, but one thing he has got in his arsenal is he can, you know, he can maintain a fairly healthy pace. As Carlos Pontorino tries to dive around the outside of Artie Fernandi into the corkscrew. Artie holds him off, but they're side by side into the rainy curves. Carlos had a little bit of a wiggle there, and Artie Fernandi managed to capitalise on that. If they start duffing each other up, Dave, that's going to give Rico a little bit of a breathing space. It will. They'll be better off trying to work together, but I don't think that's going to happen. Carlos really wants this, and so does Artie. And they are going to do all they can to get on the back of Rico. Whether that's together or not is a different matter. They're all on fairly good tyres, folks. They've not long come out of the pits. They are seriously pushing hard now. This is the last stint of the race, unless somebody's got any other ideas about going in for another pit stop, which I very much doubt. What do you think, Dave? I can't see any of these going in for another pit stop now. They've done 13 laps each time. This will be the last push now. They really will dig in deep now and try and, you know, beat Rico basically and beat each other. Artie's doing a great job, I tell you. It's a night and day from Interlagos. As we jump onto Carlos Pontorino's bonnet cam, and Dave tried to tell me that there's a cameraman sitting on the front. I didn't believe him for 1 minute. We would see the whites of his eyes though, Dave. Can you imagine sitting on the front of that? Artie Fernandi's gone around Rico. Something's happened to Rico. Rico Mortis has slowed right up. Artie Fernandi jumped past him, and Carlos Pontorino is right on his tail now. What do you think happened there, Dave? I would say either Rico span up coming out of turn 11, or he missed a gear going down the hill. Yeah, that would make sense. But that's cost him dearly, that, as Artie Fernandi's already pulling out one hell of a gap. Carlos is right on his jacksie. He'll be lucky to get a good result out of this now, Dave. Knowing what Artie Fernandi and Carlos is like, they ain't going to go easy on him, that's for sure. I know he'll be thinking to himself, you know, just keep it calm, keep your breath, just hit your markers, forget what's going on behind you, and do all you can to maintain those tyres for the last few laps. I know that's what he'll be going through Rico's head now. This is hotting up to be one hell of a finale, folks. We've got 10 laps to go. Almost 9. Carlos Pontorino's gone around up the inside of Rico Mortis. They make contact down towards Andretti hairpin. Carlos gets the job done. Can he hold off Rico coming out of the turn? He does. He'll be doing all he can to get on the back of Artie Fernandi now, who ain't so far up the road. There's a bit of dust flying up. Artie Fernandi's, he knows Carlos is coming. The pressure will be mounting on Artie Fernandi now. Rico's still on the back of Carlos Pontorino though. He ain't letting him get away. I think Rico's, you know, kind of reset and gone, right, that's it. Roll the sleeves up. Let's hang on to the back of these pair and see what happens. That would make perfect sense, Dave, as they dive into the corkscrew and Carlos Pontorino pulls his legendary wheelie. Artie Fernandi, oh, he's almost lost it there. Artie Fernandi just manages to save it. How the hell he saved that, Dave, I do not know. I'll tell you what, I saw the tear-offs fire out the back end. He must have absolutely scared himself. Rico Mortis on board on the bonnet cam. Artie Fernandi touches Carlos Pontorino. Carlos goes a little bit wide. They're pulling a bit of a gap on Rico now. Or maybe I spoke too soon. Rico is actually gaining on him a little bit. Hold your nerve, Mr. Mortis. Down towards turn 5 and then up the hill to turn 6 and then that legendary birth control corner. Artie Fenati is right on the back of Carlos Punterino. It must be so scary going round there, Dave, when you're following a car as close as that. It's hard enough going into that corner with, on your own, let alone right up someone's boot. It must literally be a leap of faith as you turn into that because you are going so fast. It is, you got to know exactly where to turn in, where to brake, where to get on the gas, and it's all in a click of a finger. It's so fast. Carlos Punterino doing all he can to hold off Artie Fenati. Can he bring it home for Team Alien? In fact, he's the only one in Team Alien, Dave. Is it a team anymore? Oh yes, it's still a team. He's got his guys behind him and his pit crew and that, and they all the team. They're just down to one driver, that's all. Yeah, that really is a shame that Wyatt left. He was, I think the guys really liked him. They did. He kind of become, part of the brotherhood, I think. I don't think this is over for Rico Mortis, folks. He's closing in on Artie Fenati. Carlos has pulled a slight gap, but it ain't enough. Artie and Rico are still coming. Rico's still hanging on to the back of Artie Fenati down through the rainy curves. Trying not to clip any of those sausages. Down towards turn 11. Who's that? That looks like Alexander's. Into turn 11 they go. Getting a good exit out of here. Rico Mortis nearly clouted into the back of Alexander's then. Artie Fenati's right on the back of Carlos Punterino now. Can he make a move into the Andretti hairpin? It's not going to work. Carlos shuts the door. Rico's right on the back of Artie Fenati. Kicking up dirt. Kicking up oil, kicking up sweat, you name it. These guys are really going for it here. They're giving us a brilliant spectacle. Artie Fenati goes onto the brown stuff. That won't help. Into turn 6 they go. Sorry, turn 5 even. I'm too excited, folks. Up the hill towards that bomb hole, birth control, whatever you want to call it. Oh my word, that's so fast through there. Rico Mortis up towards a corkscrew on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Just in time to flick right into that drop. That really is quite steep there, Dave. Here we go.
Gentlemen, if you are injured, please follow the signs to our new medical center entrance, which is through the main gates and to the right of the 2 awful carts. Thank you. And don't forget to give all you can to the Christmas Prime Rehabilitation Fund. It is a very worthy cause, I can assure you. Thank you.
He always does that. He always comes on when it's really on up. Look at this.
Rico Mortis is almost on the back of Artie Fenati, and he would be in the boot if he had one. Into turn 4. Definitely not hanging a trout down towards turn 5. Carlos Punterino wants this. Artie Fenati wants this. And Rico Mortis wants this again. Into the bomb hole. Up the hill, right on the back of Carlos Punterino. He's definitely coming back towards Artie Fenati now. Right on his boot, down into the dipper, down into rainy curves. Artie's dropped Rico a little bit, maybe had a little bit of a wobble. Artie kicking up the dirt, almost clipping the sausage on the right turn there and down into turn 11. Can they get on the back of Carlos? Artie's almost side by side with Carlos Punterino down the main straight. Hammering down, using their boost, as Dave calls it, down towards the Andretti hairpin. Artie Fenati trying to go for a defensive lane, but goes in a little hot and goes wide. Carlos Punterino trying to make up that maneuver on the inside. All the while, Rico Mortis is right on the back of him. They're an equal distance apart. Carlos is doing a little bit of wobbling around. I'm guessing his tyres are almost shot. Down towards turn 5. Up the hill. Artie Fenati could win this, Dave. It does look that way. Rico's on the back of Carlos now, though. Artie's pulled a little bit of a gap out. If Rico's got to beat Artie, he's got to get past Carlos Punterino, and that ain't no easy task at all. I would say Rico Mortis has got his work cut out getting past our double champion Carlos Punterino. This is going to be really difficult. It's going to take a absolute hand of God. As with Rico, dives up the inside into turn 11. What a beautiful move. Lovely and clean. Carlos didn't know what hit him. That was absolutely awesome stuff from Rico Mortis. That was a great move, Dave. That corner has been the winning of many a race, I can tell you. If Rico can just pull away from Carlos now and get up to Artie Fanati, there's what, 4 laps to go. He still could win this, Robin. David Punterino in his usual 4th place. He does seem to like that 4th place, Dave. It is weird. He does seem to be finish a lot of races in 4th place. It's bizarre. We haven't seen a lot of David Punterino for a little while. It's been so busy with these 3 at the sharp end of the stick, as it were. But David's doing a phenomenal job in 4th place, and Brian Messiah's holding on to a very good, solid 5th. With Aylan Van Eddy just behind. The British racing team have been struggling a bit this round, Dave. And, we're currently running in 7th and 8th. We've also lost a couple of drivers due to retirement as well. Yeah, I was sorry to see, Simon Bouquet and Greg Rocket retire. That was, it must have been something serious. Rico Mortis and Rico Mortis and Artie Fanati have dropped Carlos Punterino. I never thought that would happen in a million years, Dave. Me neither. I thought that, that would be Carlos would be in the mix for the win, but Carlos has just got to keep his head down and bring it home and get a good 3rd place here, providing Rico and Artie Fanati could have a caper, and Carlos could still capitalise on that. Aylan Van Eddy in a 6th place, doing a great job. Aylan's been going about his business. Artie Fanati into turn 11. I tell you what, Dave, Rico is on the back of Artie Fanati now. They're almost side by side. Rico Mortis on all over Artie Fanati down the main straight. Can he get him into the Andretti hairpin? They make contact. Rico can't get around. Artie Fanati takes the defensive line, holding off Rico Mortis, who is right on him. Can Rico make the win? Can Artie hold him off? Who will know? We will see very shortly, folks. There is 1.5 laps to go. Into the right-hander and down towards turn 5. Artie's pretty good here, but Rico's also very quick through this section. Very good up the hill and through the birth control bomb hole. Nobody makes a mistake. They both get through nice and clean. Looks like Artie's pulled a little bit of a gap on Rico. Rico's coming back on the brakes though. Just trying to look after those tyres and just save it all for the last lap. Can Rico make it a double win? Can Artie Fanati deny him? Rico could be lining up into turn 11 again. No, that's not going to work there. All he can do now is hang into the slipstream and try and get him down into the Andretti hairpin, or at least, a bit further around the track. Can Rico line up a move here? Artie goes out wide. Rico dives up the inside into the Andretti hairpin. Can he hold Artie Fanati off and block his exit? He does. Rico gets the move done into the Andretti hairpin. Can he hold off Artie Fanati now? They've got 3/4 of a lap to go. Can he, is those tyres good enough, Dave? What do you think? He's just got to keep his cool now, keep his head down, make sure he hits his markers. Do not make a mistake, Mr. Mortis. Up the hill, can he get through here safely? This is one of the areas where it's easy to fly off, as you've seen many times. Artie Fanati's very quick here. Can he make a move into the corkscrew? Rico's on the inside, blocks the exit for Artie Fanati, shuts the door. Artie's got a couple more corners to go. Can he make it happen? Can Rico hold his nerve? Make sure you hit those markers. Do not screw up the turn 11, the final turn. This could be Rico Mortis taking his 2nd win of the season. I think Rico might have it. Can he get it dry? Artie spins up on exit a little bit. Rico Mortis wins at Laguna Seca. Well done, Rico, and Artie Fanati with a very good 2nd place. Carlos Punterino crosses the line in 3rd. Awesome job, Carlos. And it looks like 4th place for David Punterino. Brian Messiah's just got to bring it home for a good 5th place. You can do it, Brian, down the Rady curves for the final time. into turn 10 and down towards turn 11. Team Anus can bring it home. Come on, boys. Brian Messiah coming out of turn 11 for the last time, down towards the finish line. That's a good solid 5th place. Artiangelo and Alexanders are a lap down, so they've crossed the line already. And Hale and Van Eddy bringing it home. And it looks like as long as he doesn't go to the medical centre in turn 11, he'll bring it home in a good solid 6th place. That's great points for Team Anus, Dave. That is some good solid points. Well done, guys. So let's take a look at the final race results. In first place, Rico Mortis. In second, Artie Fonati. In third, Carlos Punterino. And in fourth, Damon Punterino. In 5th place, Brian Messiah. And in 6th, Salen Van Eddy. 7th, Artiangelo. And 8th, Alex Anders. Simon Bouquet did not finish. Greg Rocket did not finish. And Scott Milano, Lydia Champagne and Fabio Dotrelli did not race. Congratulations to Rico Mortis for an incredible victory and his 2nd win of the season, and with Artie Fonati in 2nd and Carlos Punterino in 3rd place on the podium. A fantastic result for Artie and Carlos alike. So let's take a look at the championship results so far. In first place with Rico Mortis on 50 points, followed by Carlos Punterino on 37 and Artie Fonati on 29. Brian Messiah on 27 and Damon Punterino also on 27. Helen Van Eddy on 20 and Alex Anders on 19 points. Artiangelo on 8, Simon Bouquet on 7 and Greg Rocket on 6 points. Fabio Dotrelli, Lydia Champagne and Scott Milano are all non-scorers. So let's take a look at the team championship results after round 2. On 57 points is Team Kawasaki, with Team Anus on 47 and Team Alien on 36, with the British Racing Team also on 36 points. Affinity Racing on 29 and Team Tiger on 26. That's it, folks. In a fortnight's time, we broadcast again from Spain and the circuit of Catalonia for round 3. But for now, from me, Dave, and the team, thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.
Let's go!